Колеги, доброго дня.
Good afternoon. Ukrainian Crisis Media Center is going to continue its work. Sorry for delay. Our topic of this briefing is the non-governmental methods to take care of the way how to help children whose parents died in the ATO. Our guest, Oleh Golovkov, chairman of the NGO Association of NGO Soldiers and Volunteers in Kharkiv region. Nataliya Malko, marketing the director of International Medical Center Oftalmika, also Oksana Borysenko, volunteer, and Ruslana Lyzhychko will join us a bit later. You have the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I would like to say that we are approaching the Xmas and New Year's Eve and St. Nicholas Day, and all the children of Ukraine are waiting and looking forward to some get presents and gifts. But unfortunately, some of those children will not be able to get those presents or gifts from their fathers who either were killed in action in the east of Ukraine or were prisoners or missing in action. In order for those days not to be left without our attention, a group of the Kharkiv Volunteers Association of the ATO fighters and volunteers have organized a special function, 2 concerts. One of those concerts will be meant for children, and we are going to, actually we provide a very nice program. A lot of different groups and teams will take part in that. It's going to be a very situated and brilliant concert. We invited and continue to invite different people and children of the ATO participants, children of those soldiers who already returned to their homes and those who are still there. Another is the charity concert where we're going to involve the variety stars. We actually expect that Ruslana or VV team will participate in the 95th block. A group or team also is invited. This is going to be commercial function, so the money resulting from this sale of the tickets and the most of the fees of our stars, they agreed to donate, the majority of them agreed to donate their fees of the money for their concert. And all this money is going to be channeled for the purchase of the gifts and presents to those children who lost either one parent of theirs or both parents as a result of the ATO combat activities. This is going to be target-oriented as aid, and the idea about this will be delivered to by our girls. The idea, can you introduce yourself once again? Kateryna Chernyavska, volunteer. The idea, it was not incidental. Over the 18 months of volunteering activities of each of us, we noticed that very often people would like to help somebody, but they don't know how to do that. And that's why we decided to organize such a concert with the participation of famous Ukrainian singers, artists, bands, etc., and then to give the money to those children whose parents were killed there as a result of the ATO operation. We're going to invite the governmental officials, journalists, etc. Maran Marabian confirmed his participation as this famous Kharkiv figure, Ukrainian poet and writer Sergei Zhadan. Speaking about the list of the necessary information gathered on the list of children, will be delivered to by my colleague. My name is Oksana Borysenko. I'm a volunteer. Thank you very much that you found time to come here. Maybe parallel to that are more important briefings or press conference taking place, but in our life we do not have anything more important than our than our children, because our children spell our future, something which we can rely upon, who we can rely upon. Those children who were already born in the free Ukraine, in the years of Ukraine's independence. Actually, we are talking about our future of our nation. And when we started to generate the list, we encountered the following problem: that individual information is protected by law about the individual information or personal information. In order to understand or to get information how or that the specific person was killed in action, and that doesn't matter to us whether we are talking about the armed forces of Ukraine National Guards or volunteer. We have to get the contact telephone number of his wife or parents. We have to understand how many children are in this family, their names and their age. This information is not contained in the open source of information, so we had to try to find this information among the volunteers, because, for example, when we work with this or another anti-military unit, we know who was killed, who was wounded, and actually we give this information to those who work further on in the hospital. And it turned out to be that there are, well, volunteers in different hospitals, those who deal with the prisoners of war, volunteers who gives the information about those missing in action. But there are nobody who would take care of the children who were left without parents in guardianship. The most difficult task for our group was to call all those girls, widows who remained without their husbands, to find establish contacts, to find proper words, and to ask them how they live today and what problems they face. To call is one thing, but it's really kind of very difficult to find the proper words to get the answer from your addressee. And many of those we called were really they appreciated even the fact that we called them, that they were not forgotten. There were some cases they said to us, of course, we feel okay despite anything. Of course, you can put our names into this list, but we do not claim to be on this list. You better help those who really badly need your assistance. For example, we were talking about purchasing the furniture for a new apartment using the money which the government paid for the killed father or husband. For example, there are such needs. The father was dreaming that someday he was a biker, for example, that he would put his son on the kind of the bicycle or motorcycle with remote control, and there are such needs as well. So, as Katya said, after holding such a wonderful let's say, function or concert, I believe that the best representatives of our culture gave their consent. When we get some money as a result of this concert, maybe we'll entertain several options, depending on the number of the children in the family. We'll start with the families with 5, 4, or 3 children, and then we'll take care of those who badly require our assistance, and then we'll move ahead on the list. We plan that this is not going to be one time happening, and it doesn't involve only Kharkiv region. Despite the fact that we are frontline city, we collect the list all over Ukraine. It so happened that we did not have too many guys who were killed. Mostly those guys who were killed in the western or central Ukraine. So we do not say no to anybody. We generate the list for the whole Ukraine. As the wise people say, there are never somebody else's children. Now this is a form of our appreciation for the heroic deeds of their fathers and our attention to those children who would not want to live without presence during these Christmas holidays or the St. Nicholas Day. Ruslana joined us, okay. First of all, I would like to apologize for being late, but we have a lot of traffic jams in Kiev. I would like to thank the Association of the Combat Actions and the volunteers of ITO in the Kharkiv region. I would like to thank the association. I would like to thank them for the initiative. I would like to thank them for their cooperation and for the fact that you are brave there. You are courageous, and nothing can stop you. That not we have too many journalists in this audience. But this normal. Why I said that this normal? It seems to me that we got used to this acute pain in Ukraine. This became kind of a norm to us, and we stopped to be amazed by that. If we say to somebody that somebody feels bad, they say, well, this is normal. If you tell somebody that there is some children who will not get the New Year or Christmas presents, they say, no, well, what's special? If you say that there is a volunteer or the fighter who remained without legs or arms, then his name was not put in some list for those who are eligible to some kind of reward or compensation. Say, well, he was not lucky, and this kind of our attitude. This is bigger problem actually than the fact that our government doesn't pay too much attention to people. And this pain actually will sooner or later result in some kind of, I would put it this way, social agitation. And it's very good that you decided to do something good and give me an opportunity to do something good for the children. It seems to me it would be wonderful. My colleagues, musicians, I know that they do a lot, but if they could have a kind of personal attention and to all those cases, because when something happens, not to us person, not to members of our family, we believe it's somewhat distant grief or whatever, and why should we waste our time or just take care of somebody? But this specific case, I do that with pleasure, and anytime again you can rely upon me. I'm going to join you in all your endeavors. And me and my team, my assistants, in our Ukrainian Dawn Foundation, we were approached by more than 300 families with children. We already processed 260 cases, and as different people, I would like to give their assistance, their aid, kind of specific persons, target-oriented assistance, and we have to make sure that those things are going to reach those who need this assistance. We very often take this information from volunteers, and very often we are ourselves trying to look for and find those families. For example, we have those lists with us. People do not want to remain anonymous. You see those lists. This is how they look like. We have all the information here. If necessary, we visit the Minister of Social Policy so that our humanitarian freights or humanitarian aid were processed in the simplified procedure, so not to pay the custom duties, etc., because there are some very complicated procedures. And if you do not call somebody and say, look here, guys, what are you doing? So this specific truck or, let's say, vehicle will remain for days there. We sometimes call it kind of putting the sticks in the bicycle. I was saying a lot about that earlier. I was mentioning that very often, and there were very painful cases. There are families with 5 children, at the age of 5 months up to 7 years, and nobody knows how those people are going to survive because their father was killed. And the procedures in place are such They would be happy that volunteers will help them to go through those procedures to get the assistance or aid. But as you know, that the volunteers have not been legalized or not registered by the public offices. They have to take care of themselves, how to find a way out of this critical situation. Volunteers who went to fight for Ukraine to the ATO, leaving behind their families, and a lot of women were left with the children in their hands. And you can say what would be the result when you come up with your own initiative in Ukraine sometimes. So if today's authorities do not have they do not have the heart, then there is no heart in society. After what we went through which ordeal, etc., and some people said that we take this grief or this misfortune so close to our hearts, so we do not know how to treat that. So do not forget about such grievous facts. For example, when the volunteer could not return from the ATO, his wife succumbed to cancer, and the children found himself or herself at their grandmother's. What would happen to that grandmother and these children? So let's do something about that. More than one concert, more than one function, one event, more than one initiative. Once again, I would like to address mass media. Such press conference should not gather only 3.5 journalists. Well, I understand that journalists are more interested in some scandals, but this situation, actually, we can say something about the values we were fighting in Maidan. So this is kind of a trial for you. This is really true to life situation, and this grief is true to life, and we cannot close our eyes on that. It seems to me it's very difficult to live in a country, feel oneself happy if you have such a big deal of grievous events. It's very difficult to feel happy and to build your personal island of happiness in the ocean of the sad events or grief. So I would like to call upon all those who can draw attention of the people to this problem. Remember last year, a year ago, tried to raise to declare out loud about the mishaps in the military guys. There was a lot of PR actions, and immediately everybody realized that our politicians could do a lot for their own PR. And it's my request. Let's all of us should pull our efforts and bring this topic to the top of the charts of the attention of everybody. We are talking about providing the help to the families of those volunteers, to those soldiers who went to the front line to defend the legitimate lands of Ukraine. They did that on their own consent. They volunteered to do that. They were penetrated with the Maidan spirit. They went there, they sacrificed their lives, or they actually returned as disabled, handicapped persons, and their families find themselves in dire straits. Especially, we are talking about the families with many children, and we have to do something, try to feel the pain of each of us. Thank you.
For the start, I want to thank all organizers of this charity concert, that they gave us a possibility to be sponsors. It's an honor to be one of the sponsors of the concert of such a level. Our medical center tries to help people who suffered in the ATO area, and we provided medical help. We provide help in the form of clothes, food, and financial assistance. And we were addressed to be sponsor of this concert, and we agreed to do this. And I want to address to private business and regional and national businesses that they pay attention to this event and join this event. We shouldn't forget that servicemen who fought for us and our children, and we are obliged now to help those children whose fathers died for our freedom. Thank you very much. And some conclusions. And on the 16th of December, we will hold several events. First, there will be a New Year's Eve St. Nicholas Day, and all the participants of ATU area and their relatives can be present. We won't require any documents. We know that no one who is not who doesn't belong won't come. So there will be some events such as circus. There will be some sort of miracle, some sort of a New Year event, but we are oriented to St. Nicholas, not Jack Frost. So the next event will be of commercial character, and we will sell tickets. And for this concert, we invited Ruslana and Oleg Skripka and his group, and our anchors will be the guys from the 95th quarter. Evgeny Kochevoy said that he will come to our event also. And we say that, please, buy a ticket, and you will have a good mood and take part in this wonderful event. And by this, you will help children. So we plan this event in Kharkiv, and this is our native city. We will look how it will go, and then we will bring this event to different cities of Ukraine. What is the cost of a ticket? It's starting from 200 to 1,500. It's a Karabas and internet billet distribution systems, and we also give the number of our organizers, and it's at the legal institute, law institute, and the balcony is. Goes to the 15th of the hall, so you will buy a ticket, and in any place of the hall you will see everything. So what is the number of children? So we have 210 families in our register, but it's not the whole information, but 210 families are included in the list, and we wrote down all the wishes, what they want to receive from us. So do you have some questions or comments? Maybe some comments on what Ruslana said. Many journalists watch us online, so we will spread our footage, and we can provide the information in order to spread it through the media, and will be also a press release, and we will send it to different institutions, so many people will hear about this event or read about it, so you can join. Do you have some questions or comments? If there's no questions or comments, thank you very much for coming, and for the next time. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. And the last press conference is at